My literacy skills are needed the moment I wake up. I look for my phone to see what the time is and my day begins. I set the dryer to hot and putting the cycle on for 20 minutes to ensure that when my kids step out of the shower, they will have nice warm clothes. I'm then preparing their lunch, making sure they are out the door in time for the bus. I check my timetable for college and work, and I'm out the door ready to face the day. This typical morning routine requires me to use my literacy skills. Growing up in a Pacific Island household, I was predominantly exposed to religious literature. My parents and grandparents listened and watched Christian content. They always had a Bible in every room. They had hymnals, lessons, and every Sunday or Saturday we would be in church. On the flip side, I remember them very much embedded in Samoan culture, with music, books, newspapers, food, brands everywhere I looked. We attended cultural nights where the pride of our heritage was forefront. I loved it. On my first practicum, I taught my students a Samoan song, which we performed in front of the whole school. I was so proud to see young Australians singing the language I grew up with. At 11 years old, I developed my own love for literature through the Goosebump and Babysitter Club series. All my friends were reading the same things and we would talk about it in and out of school. When I was a teenager, my English class studied John Marsden's Tomorrow When the War Began. We ended up reading the whole series, and my love for reading grew with authors such as Bryce Courtney, V.C. Andrews, Nora Roberts, J.D. Robb, Anne Rice, and so many more. I remember staying up till 4 a.m. just to finish a book. I kept a personal diary that I would write in religiously every day, and I continued my love for writing into the 20s with a personal journal and even read a romance novel on best friends falling in love. After having my kids, I started reading devotional books, The 5 Love Languages, on how to be the best wife and mother I could be. I became surrounded by the world of little people with castles and princesses, cars and cubby houses, and my life is so much more rich with them in it. I also developed a deep love for God and searching the Bible for guidance. I love to read books written by Samoan authors, such as the Telesa series and The Scar of the Bamboo Leaf, all based around Samoan culture. Wow, it's amazing how my early literacy experiences are still influencing the person I am today. I can see why it's so important that my outlook on literacy will influence the students that will walk through my door, and I can't wait. I've learnt so much in my year and a half at Avondale. My experiences in English 1 with Edie Ledver have taught me so much about the teacher I want to be, thinking outside the box when looking at literacy and teaching. I love how we as pre-service teachers are reminded that we need to stay passionate for the kids whose lives we will be a part of one day. So what would literacy look like in my classroom? One word: freedom. Freedom to read, freedom to create, freedom to write, freedom to think, freedom to imagine, freedom to talk, freedom to make noise, freedom to make mistakes, and freedom to become anything and to reach for all possibilities. Nancy Atwell, who founded the Center of Teaching and Learning, says, "What is essential about learning to read is choice. Children choose what they're going to read and what they're going to write about." I will have a classroom dedicated to showing my students the love and passion for literacy that I have, which will be rich in culture and full of love and acceptance. Edie has said in class a number of times, classrooms should never be silent. Humans learn by interacting. As a 21st century learner, I am so privileged to have a wealth of resources available to draw from. I would create spaces where students could choose where to sit or stand when they are learning, giving options of a lounge, beanbag, high desk, cushions, textured rugs. The importance is choice. I would have an in-class library full of books that have been chosen with thought and care to the cultural and social context that my students are surrounded by. The walls would reflect our love of reading and writing, covered in the students' work and interests. I would choose books that my students are interested in and find things they are passionate about. My son loves Minecraft, so I brought him a book, magazine, everything to do with Minecraft. This ensures that they are actively engaged in doing something they want to do. I would take pride in writing down my students' ideas and working together to make it happen. Read alouds would be so important in my classroom. I love Mem Fox's experience when speaking at a conference to a group of principals in Auckland, New Zealand. She shares the case of 3 gifted children who by the age of 3 could read fluently. How? Their parents simply read to them aloud every day from birth. This instilled a love for books and reading from a very young age. What a big difference reading aloud makes in the lives of children, and it should be in every classroom. The balanced literacy approach is also the key to bridging the gap in inequality and social context, allowing all students the same opportunity to become successful readers and writers. I would definitely put this in place in my classroom. It involves reading workshop, writers workshop, language and word study. The 2-hour literacy block would involve whole class shared reading, guided reading with independent reading, whole class read aloud and word study. This allows a whole block dedicated to providing students with the opportunity to talk, think, and ask questions as a class in small groups and independently, all the while giving the students the freedom to learn and share their own experiences of learning. What an awesome concept and something I would love to implement with the right guidance and tools. Teaching literacy has become a whole world of possibilities, and I'm looking forward to learning so much more about how I can be the best teacher. My journey has just begun, and I'm so excited.